All right. Gonna do some stuff. Well, that's not right. There we go, that's a bit better now. What is going on with the... All the way over there, that was weird. Okay. Bit of fun there, cool, right. Oh, it needs to be cropped. What happens when you do impromptu broadcast? There we go. That'll do. Okay, cool. Gonna do some hacking on Firefox. So let's announce on Blue Sky and whatnot. Get this show on the road. I need to get a thing to get the link and check that we're actually live. Are live. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna I2P do stuff off window just for funsies. Let's go to Mozilla. Where were we last? We were looking at Shadow DOM, I think, so we're gonna have to do a recompile. I think we're on Shadow DOM. Oh no, we were on has slotted by default. So let's do a pull and an up and a master checkout on whatever. I saw this was merged. Like, do you know what? We're gonna do this today. So we're going to. There's the I2P for scope custom element registries, but we're going to change this. So we're going to say a closed by attribute that can be used to control the light dismissed behavior of, let's just put this like this, dialog elements. Oh, this in quotes. I don't know why the quotes got lost. That's quotes. Whoops. And bug, we need a bug for this. Bugzilla. Dialog, light dismiss. Take. Fine now. Oh, there's the bug. Specification. Standards body, Whatwig. Platform coverage all, DOM. Dialog, light, dismiss. DevTools, link to standards positions. Is there a standards position? I should zoom in attach, shouldn't Standards. There we go. Standards positions for Mozilla. There. They're not supportive. No concerns, so I think it's safe to prototype this. They're also not supportive, so I will say no signals. Blink is definitely prototyping. Web platform tests, WPT. I'm very sure Mason has written some tests. Let's find out. HTML semantics. Dialog. Closed by. Interactive elements, dialog element. Closed by. Perfect. Let's say put this in here. Okay, I think we have a proper intent to prototype, so I'll email this now. Intent to prototype, dialog closed by attribute. Do one last check. Yeah, this is good. Send. Okay, cool. So we're gonna prototype this. So we want to do a Mac build first. Let's put down. Put this down here. And we're going to go to the dialog element, which is HTML dialog element even. .cpp and HTML dialog element .h. So the spec is there is a new method called request close. In fact, what we can do is we can go to the diff here. Do interactive elements. Let's have it as a diff. Most of this stuff I think will just be like, if I click through, it'll be like little indexes and stuff like that. Is each document has an open dialogues list, which is a list of dialog elements. That's fine. I don't think initially empty is required for list in this spec, but I am far from the person to be litigating on specs. So we, in document H, we're going to have a list of open dialogues. Wherever, come on, document. dom. Where is it? Base document. Base. Oh. This is class. Where's the class document? Here we are. Got this mixture of public and private men. Waiting to see, but whatever. Cool. I wonder if there's like anything popover. I like to co-locate stuff. this. Yeah, see top layer. I think this is a good place to shove this. So, a list of open dialogues. Going to be an NST array. Nope. An NST array of elements, and they could be a dialogue element. HTML dialogue element, I believe. Dialogue element. Oh, we should probably put it here. Yes, it's on. So here, body, dialogue, dialogue. Oh, we could put it here. Maybe this is the better one. A list of open dialogues, HTML dialogue element. That's wrong. Cool. Copy and paste our way to success. Find. We just want something like this. Whoops. Open dialogue list. Don't think it needs to be const. I don't think it wants to be, but I'm not going to make it const. What else? So that's the list. Nothing else happens with that. That's just so this is a close by attribute, which we can figure out in a bit. So this is saying this reference is part of a different spec. This references the client X and client Y attributes of the mouse event spec, which is part of DOM, not HTML, I imagine. What else? So this is the kind of interesting stuff. So close watchers have a new enabled state, so we'll have to go and tweak the close watcher algorithm. The enabled state is part of the constructor. Request to close has to get require history activation. Return early if the enabled is false, and we add a small condition here. So let's go to close watcher. EPP. Merged, isn't it? Yeah. So close watcher constructor, close watcher options. I don't think this is exposed as the constructor. I think this is only exposed as part of the like internals. So close watcher options. Close watcher options. I can type. Yeah, it just has an abort signal, so it's not going to change the constructor. What it is going to change is the explicit. It's not going to change the constructor of the hey, Vale. Cool seeing someone work on this stuff. Not something I really looked into at all deeply before. Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of C++, which is not my first language. I guess that my first language is English, but that was a terrible joke, sorry. Yeah, but it's you know, it's fun. So request to close takes an additional parameter, I think was what we established here with Boolean require history activation. So we'll just slap a bool require history activation. And if it's not active, we return true. If M enabled is false, we're going to return true. So we can just slap this here. M enabled. Not. And we need to go to M is running cancel. We need an M enabled. And we'll default this to true. And in the explicit close watcher constructor, we need A enabled, which is a bool. Whoops. And so in the close watcher, the explicit marks is it which one? Watcher. Is it? Oh, it's implemented here. Okay, fine. So we can say M enabled is just going to be A enabled, and that's that done. So the explicit close watcher gets this enabled state. Oh, it's an algorithm. It needs to be a function pointer. That's different. Okay. Oh, that's a bit more awkward. I didn't realize that. I don't know how to do callbacks in Mozilla because they're all different in different languages. We can see what it is. Instead of function, we can do a instead of function. How often is instead of function called? This is instead of function too, so okay, we'll do that. If I read the spec again, so the get enabled state, so we can say we crib this, right, using get enabled. We'll call it callback, and it's going to return a boolean. And then so this needs to be a get enabled. This needs to be a not a bool. Is a get enabled callback. Get enabled callback. How is this used in this particular class? So, got the double ampersand. This actually callback. I think this is probably in this prototype waiters. It was callback, wasn't it? Yeah, prototype waiters append element instead of move. So we're probably going to need to do the same. So get enabled is just going to be a instead of move. Just totally cribbing from this here. I have no idea what I'm doing. This I guess needs to be double-handed. I really don't get the double ands. They confuse a bit as well. Compile errors, which is not a surprise because we're like editing the code as we compile. Very unclear what is failing, but I'll go again. Maybe we'll get a clearer error. Cool. So the rest of close watcher So we call the get enabled, right? So this m enabled that we had, no good. We need to change this to m enabled, like a call. I'll just double check prototype waiters. I want to make sure way to call it is just to, yeah, literally just call it, which is good. So that's this done. Oh, so excuse me. The result of running close watches get enable state is false, return true, and then let can prevent close, which we don't have here. This is this, I believe. Wait, close watcher is active, return true. Close watches is running cancel, action is true. This should be, redo these comments as well. If the result of running close watches get enable state is false, return true. And then it was if close watcher, then 4 and 5 are if let close watcher if fully active. So that's that. That's all of these. Then we say, so this needs to be 6. So this is this. So this says if it's cancelable if the group size is less than window, which we call can grow here, or if we have a valid history activation. And so we need to add an additional thing here, because this says if if require history activation is false, we wrap this paragraph. And so excuse me, so require history activation, the A, are we this is A require history activation argument reasons. So if it's false, or so this is this new condition. So we say if require history activation is false, or if Windows Close Manager is less than and window, yeah. So this is the right logic, right? If this is false, or this whole condition. So that's that change. And then to close a close watcher, we say if it's not active, return. If close watcher's window is fully active, return. And we also have this other condition. This becomes 3, this becomes 4. While I'm at it, this becomes 7, 8. 1, 10.2 and 10.3, 11 and 12. So if close watcher is active, return, and then if yep, fine. And this should say or not get get, what did we call it? M enabled. It's not called M enabled anymore, is it? Called M enabled? It's still called M enabled. All right. M enabled. So if the result of running close watches get enabled is false, then return. Yeah, that's cool. That's that one done. So processor close watcher says if the result of running close watches get enabled is true, So process close watches is in a different part, I think. Where? We go to close watches. Close watcher. Oh, try that later. Close watcher. Maybe I will search for it. Yeah, close process, close watcher. See if anything comes up, if we're lucky. Process close watches. Nope. Okay, if we search for request close, we might see something. Request to close. Close watcher manager. Process close request. That looks like what we want. So close watcher manager. We process close watches. Yeah, perfect. This is the one. So it's not empty for each. If the result of running close watcher get enabled state. So we need to, in close watcher H, we're going to need to say bool is enabled const. This should be const. Is enabled, and then we will, well, we could always inline this because this is just going to be called, just going to call m enabled return. Which means in the close watcher CPP, where we're calling m enabled, we should just call is enabled. It's cleaner that way. It's not much of a muchness, but now that's a public method on the close watcher. Public, yes. Now we can say if watcher is enabled, then we want to say processor close watcher is true. We're saying, wait, what's going on? Let's copy some pros. If close watch is not empty, that's this bit. If it is empty, this is why there's no pros here, probably. Excuse me. We're certainly in here. Processor close watcher to true. Should proceed is the result of requesting to close a close watcher with true. Okay, fine. And then if should proceed as false, we break. And that, I mean, we just done that. So get enabled to true, set processor close watcher to true. Issue ever get resolved? Oops. This issue did not get resolved. Okay. I mean, that's weird. But maybe it will become clear why that's necessary at some point. It doesn't make sense to me now. The request close steps. Okay, so the request close steps. Request close. Yeah, so this needs a boolean, and this one's going to be false. Oh, and we have an out of line definition because request to close needs this bool. And we are out of diff on this one. I think that's the close watcher stuff done. I guess the popover attribute, it has some stuff to do with dialogues. No, that just changes pointer event, light dismiss, call when the pointer events, blah blah blah, pointer. So this is not relevant to us because this is all just pointer event stuff, and we're not going to touch that today. Whoops. So this is just a date change and dropping the flag there. This is the meat of the spec, I think. This is the interactive elements bit. So we're going to add a close by attribute. So in the dialog element, we want to go to dialog element IDL. So we want an attribute. The attribute needs to have CE reactions, I'm sure. Find it. Yeah, it's CE reactions. The setter, whether or not it throws, will be determined later. Setting. Show. Where's the set steps? Must reflect, limited to only known values. It doesn't throw by the looks of it, so that's good. So it has to have C reactions. It's a boolean. It's not a boolean. It's a string, dumb string, and it is called closed by. And then we've just got the usual. That's fine. So closed by content attribute is an enumerated attribute with the following keywords and states. So there's a way that this is handled in Mozilla in the Firefox code base. I'm trying to think. Maybe popover H is a good one to crib. Have a look. Or another enumerated attribute limited to only known values. In input. Text. One of them, or number. There'll be an enum around here somewhere. Let's go spec, HTML spec, multi-page. What other things have an enumerated attribute that we can crib from? Image. Loading. Loading is an enumerated attribute. Limited to only known values. Fantastic. Image element. HTML image. Is it IMG element? Image. So if we look for loading, maybe it's in the CPP. There is a way. There's a way. So parse loading attribute. Yeah, here we go. This is what we wanted. This K loading table. I forget what this was. Now that I see it, I understand why, because there's no way I would have remembered that. This is effectively what we want, right? So in HTML dialog, I think we can put this just in the HTML dialog. Want to be in DOM. I'm going to say, so the enum table, this is K closed by table. And the three values, because there's three values on there. There's any close request and none. So any. So HTML dialog element closed by any. Whoops. We'll say close request and none. Close request none. Excuse me. So these are the three, and then we're going to say HTML dialog element get closed by just with any string should get the enumerated attribute on the K closed by table with the tag, and parse again on each dialog element parse closed by get closed by attribute get loading fine. Get parse closed by attribute is going to parse an enum value with the closed by table. Cool. So we need to shove these in the on here, I think. And in the H file, we need to also add these. So they will be. Let's check here. How come here, in fact? So we need the signatures. Yep, that looks good. Let's hit off another file. Okay, so that's how we're going to parse the attribute. We now need to wire those methods up. So if we look for parse loading attribute, we search for parse loading attribute, we can see it is called in the image element. So it overrides this parse attribute. If we go to the declaration of this, we should see this is an override. And so we need to do the same here for dialog if it isn't already, but I have a feeling it probably, oh, it isn't. Okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to do that. So we're going to say parse attribute is an override. This should be in the H file. Sure, it's not. Nope, it's not. Okay, so this is an override from the NSI content class. And this is how every attribute gets parsed. So this gets called on an element to parse each of the attributes. And so we want to do the same thing that we have here, this whole thing, but we're going to do it slightly differently because we're really just going to say HTML dialog element. We're going to say if the namespace is none and the attribute, we're going to return the NS generic element and parse attribute, and this is going to change to closed by. And so what we're saying is when we call parse attribute, As long as we're in the none namespace, like it's not any weird XML namespace for the attributes. If the attribute is the closed by attribute, then we want to call parse closed by. And because there's only one here, we could actually just inline this, do this, but it's kind of nice to keep them separate. So this is going to be parse closed by attribute, and we need to get the a value, the a result, this thing. So that seems fine. Cool. See if we've got any errors. Mget enabled has non-static member, so did you mean M enabled? That's cute. And maybe we will call this we'll call this mget enabled. Okay, so parsing, right? We parsed the attribute. We need to, excuse me, we need to go to static atoms, something or other. Or it's static atoms py. If we look for loading, yeah. So we need to add in the closed by here. Closed. This is going to be closed by. This just defines the attribute name in this UK atoms array. What else is needed? So that's the enumerated attribute. Invalid value default, missing value default, or both the auto state. So we need to implement, yeah, set closed by and get closed by, which is probably what these compiler errors are. I'll see if there's any more. There's some other weird stuff that I'll look into in a bit, but we need to implement set closed by and get closed by. So oh, we already added get closed by. We just need set closed by. So set closed by is going to be given a string. It's obviously not const. I think that is it. I think that's it. And let's see if we've got set loading. Set lazy loading on image element. Set loading. Surprised. Image element doesn't have the set loading. There's another set loading attribute. Huh. I'm very surprised the loading attribute doesn't have a set. Get loading. Wait, I'm confused now. I'm searching in the wrong place is why. So we have get loading element. Presumably we have set loading. Set loading. HTML image element. So this throws set HTML attr calls this. We can do the same. So where do we add? Set closed by. We're just going to call this. I don't think we need an error, but maybe we do. But maybe we should check the image element. Web idle. Loading. Says that the setter throws. I don't know why it would throw though. But maybe we should as well. Maybe we should just do the same thing, because I can't think of why it would throw, but I also this needs an error. I'm sure there are like weird reasons why this would throw. This obviously needs to be closed by. Closed by. Oops. Realize the time. I have to go and start my day job. Well, let's finish where we were with this. So, set closed by. So we need to the web idle HTML dialog web idle. We need to. Oops, the wrong thing. Already open anyway. This needs setter throws as well. Cool. So that should be that one done. So we've got the. So what have we accomplished so far? We've got the close watcher stuff done. We've got the attribute implemented. We just need to do the rest of the wiring. So that will be this stuff down here, which looks pretty simple, and then the more complex stuff, which is here, and of course the actual light dismiss, which is the real body of work here. So we've got the basic wiring done, but we've got a bit more to do. We're maybe halfway through, or maybe a third of the way through, but I have a real job to do, so we will stop this for a while and we will go back maybe tomorrow. Thanks for watching if you have been. See you around.